Two, one.
Hi, folks. A very warm welcome to everyone who's joining us this evening. Hope you all are doing good and staying safe. I'm Saroj from Amazon India News, and I'm very excited to host today's live session ahead of our very first career day on September 16th. It's an interactive virtual event where all job seekers can learn from our recruiting experts and industry leaders on how to land their next big job. Let me begin by introducing our guest for the evening, Deepti Varma. Deepti leads corporate HR for Amazon in APAC and the Middle East region. She has been working with Amazon for the past 10 years. Wow. Overall, she has close to 25 years of experience working in diverse industries such as e-commerce, IT, pharmaceuticals, manufacturing industry, and has had significant global experience in all facets of HR and organizational effectiveness. Deepti is an active member of multiple Women in Leadership Forum and is passionate about diversity and inclusion, where she has bootstrapped multiple innovative and scalable initiatives across different organizations. I now call upon Deepti to join us for this live session.
Thank you so much, Saroj.
Hey Deepti, welcome to this session and thank you for joining us this evening.
My pleasure.
Okay, let's begin with the questions. Okay, Deepti, so we have seen that the world has changed in many different ways in the last 2 years. And on the work front too, companies have had to evolve the way they operate, right? So what we want to know is how has pandemic affected work, engagement, and productivity at Amazon?
Sure. So, Saroj, actually, work from home is not new to Amazon. In fact, we used to offer flexibility in the past too. In fact, we had pioneered with virtual roles and, a remote way of working even before COVID had started. As you would be knowing that we have something called as VCC, which is Virtual Contact Center, where people can work from across their homes. So when actually pandemic hit us, we were much better prepared as compared to some of the organizations because we had already kind of worked on this model. So we did not see that there was an issue with the productivity. In fact, we were able to move our employees whoever were supposed to work from home to effectively work from home, and we felt that it was kind of smooth for us. In fact, apart from that, what we did was we used a lot of Amazon tool. One such tool is, connections to get feedback on the ground as to what employees are feeling, what is the infrastructure support we can do in order for them to be more comfortable at home. So we did a couple of those things. In fact, I still remember we did an experiment where we decided that, because people are not having too many people around them, should we use Alexa to onboard them? So we came up with this Alexa and chatbot, and we said, let's, have some of the things that we can do in order to make employees feel comfortable as they are coming into Amazon. So we did a couple of things, and I think it worked well for us.
Great. I love how we all hustle together to create something new, to come up with solutions. And I love that bit about us as a team. So, Deepti, the next question is more for the benefit of our new hires, but actually anyone who might want to know, how does Amazon support the holistic well-being of its employees?
A very relevant question, and especially during the times when we have COVID, I think it is really eminent that we all should take care of our health. And we at Amazon, believe that it is not just, physical health, it is physical, emotional, mental, including financial health. And we feel that we need to support our employees across. We do have an internal initiative called Swasthya, under which, we make sure that we have health checkup, employee assistant program, employee well-being, including diet, nutrition, counseling that we offer. But we thought we should go one step forward, and we actually launched a wellness app where employees can actually go and understand what kind of food they should eat, what kind of exercise they should do. Are there people that they can talk to who can guide them, and so on and so forth. we also felt that, during COVID, it was a very stressful time for everyone, and we felt we should, give employees an outlet where they can speak. And so we came up with this learning circles or listening circles that we call, where people would just open up and talk about all the stress that they were going through. Some
Correct.
of those people had lost their family members, near and dear ones, so we really helped during that. Last but not the least, what we did was we also said that, people are going through a lot of financial crisis. It is very important for us to also have a financial well-being awareness session, and we started doing that also because we wanted people to understand, how do you save, what should you do, how should you plan your finances. And I think overall we felt that because we had a holistic approach towards employee well-being, it has, really shown positive feedback from the employees.
Got it. Yeah. I could really use some help on planning my finances.
We all could.
Yeah, but coming back just to get a little bit of more deep dive on this, how do you think Amazon creates psychological safety for its employees, whether it's on ground or virtually, now that everyone is working remotely?
Let me take a step back and go with the definition of what psychological safety is. Psychological safety is basically creating an environment where employees do not fear making a mistake or voicing their opinions, just disagreeing with something which is not going right. And as you know, at Amazon, one of our leadership principles is that have a backbone, disagree, and commit. We encourage people to, show their backbone when they disagree. We encourage people to celebrate failures. We encourage people to, talk about things that they feel needs need a diverse perspective or a diverse view. And I think managers, employees, individual contributors, they they have imbibed this culture, so it is so part and parcel of what we do every day, that, if you would be not speaking your mind out, people will give you feedback. You need to have a stronger backbone. You need to stand up for what you think is right. So people get trained into the Amazon culture of speaking their mind out, and that for me is the best environment in which people can thrive. So if I have to, talk about myself, when I joined Amazon, I remember initially I used to be very reluctant because, you have to unlearn a lot of things and
Yes.
relearn the Amazon way of doing things. But it was really interesting because I felt that while people were giving you feedback that, show more backbone, they were also supporting you to make that transition, which helps you to have that psychological safety that, yes, while people are giving you feedback, they're also holding your hand to make sure that you understand the Amazon culture. And in fact, very recently we've launched one of our new leadership principle called strive to be earth's best employer. And
Yeah,
that basically talks about, the leaders lead with empathy, have fun at work, and make it easy for others to have fun.
got it. Yeah, I mean, I agree with what you said, Deepti. And I remember an instance like when we were going through wave 2 of COVID, how different teams from Amazon, from diverse backgrounds and different geographies, they came together to create that COVID warriors group, and how they helped each other during that kind of difficult time. So yeah, so I really agree with what you're saying here. And on a related note, I just want to understand a bit more about how does Amazon as a brand look at diversity? How do we look at diversity at Amazon?
Firstly, I can't agree more about, the COVID warriors team. I'm so humbled when I speak about it, and feel so happy and proud of being an Amazonian for the work that the warriors had done. They were people who had their own, issues at home. They were
Yes,
having, their family members who were going through, some of these health issues, but they would come forward and help another employee. And there wasn't a formal mechanism. It was all done, people just got together and they were helping each other, which really talks about the spirit of Amazon. And I really felt that I learned so much during that period. It was one of the challenging period, not just for Amazon but for everyone, but our strength came out during that period. And you're very right. For me, during that time, it was irrespective of which function, which background, which state they belong to, or, are they even working remotely, or wherever they are. This thing, they came together to just help, and that itself was really heartening to see. At Amazon, if I had to talk about diversity, for us, diversity is combination of unique skills, experience, perspective, cultural background that make us ultimately, benefit the global customers. In fact, full range of visible, invisible identities, including not limited to, of course, gender, race, ethnicity, nationality, physical and cognitive
Yeah.
ability, sexual orientation, even military status, education, age, generation, like I can go on and on. And unlike many companies where, diversity is a synonym to just gender, for us, it is, unique experiences, skills, perspective, and cultural background that, defines us.
Mhm.
And I can talk about my own team. Being in HR, I have my leadership team where one of the person has come from armed forces, one of them have come from consulting, one has joined us as a pathway graduate and then moved into HR, one came from business, one came from core HR. One was in fact CEO of a company who then joined and moved into HR. So that's what make us really diverse, and I feel that's the reason why we all are able to get such diverse perspective, because we believe that a very diverse skill sets help us to understand our customer base better.
Great. I couldn't agree more with you, Deepti. And thank you for setting up that reminder that diversity is not just about gender, which is where a lot of people tend to focus on. It is about diversity of experiences and backgrounds and physicality, as you rightly pointed out. And thanks for sharing that example about your own team and the diversity component there. Can you tell us a bit more about our DEI initiatives, various initiatives that we run around DEI?
Oh, well, there are many. I don't think so I'll be able to cover all, but I will try to give you a preview about some of them. Starting with gender, I think we've been really fortunate that we've launched something called as Rekindle, where women who have
Yeah,
taken a break, who want to come and start their career. I think there is a launch pad, and we've really seen many women who have come and taken the plunge and joined us, and some of them are a part of my team too. So I really feel nice that people who have taken a break and want to come back are being able to build their career. We also have something called as a Sunshine Program, where we are trying to get women leaders from across to just engage and get those mentorships. Sometimes it's not important to just hire them, but it is also important for us
exactly.
to have that kind of a conversation. And if they just need some guidance and mentoring, we certainly want to offer that. There are some, delivery stations which are run by only women, and
Yeah.
there are some virtual contact centers which are, only enabled by women. So we do have some of those things, and I really feel very proud when we talk about those. That is some of the things that we are doing in attracting women. Of course, we have programs like Pinnacle, where we are developing the middle management women to grow into leadership role. When it comes to PWD, of course, you must be knowing, but for the benefit of organizing, for others who are listening, we have a silent delivery station in
Yeah.
Mumbai, where opportunities for speech and hearing impaired associates are provided. And I feel, whenever I hear about it, I get goosebumps, because there's so much of energy around that, and there is so much you learn from these people, and I feel really good about it. We also have started giving meaningful opportunities to transgender communities, and we've
Yeah.
started, attracting them. We have, people who have joined our fulfillment centers, sort centers, delivery centers. And then we've also launched a veteran hiring program, where we focused on armed forces people coming and joining us. And we've had
Correct.
some people who've really been very successful in coming and joining us in the leadership role. But above all, our policies are gender neutral and cover the same sex partners and rally around LGBTQ plus. And I think that's very important, because you can do all these things, but if you don't have policies, or you're
Yeah.
not, being inclusive, then, just hiring diverse talent means nothing.
That's great to know, Deepti. And some of the things, of course, I knew, but some of the things are new for me also. So thanks for sharing that update. So just moving a little bit, changing track here and moving to get to know you a little better, and just shooting a quick couple of questions for you to answer.
Sure.
Um, what does it's day one mean to you personally?
Uh, so firstly, day one to me basically means, for the people who don't know this term that Amazon uses, is it's like that first day at office when you have butterflies in your stomach because you're entering a new office, you see a lot of challenges in front of you, you want to do the best, you want to put your best foot forward. That's what the day one term comes from. Personally for me, it means never stop learning, raise the bar continuously, and work backwards from the customer needs. And I'll tell you that I've just completed 10 years at Amazon, and I just got my role just got extended a little bit more, and now I'm
Wow.
trying to get to learn one more business, and every day is like day one. I'm learning so many things, and I am just humbled by the amount of great and good work done by this team that I've just started to work with. And that is what day one means to me, that every day in last 10 years the learning hasn't stopped, and I felt really like I was at the tip of my chair, and I'm learning every day.
Great, good to know that. So yeah, on similar lines, why did you join Amazon, and what makes you stay for 10 years here? And of course, moving on, what do you look forward to?
I'll be honest, when I was leaving my earlier organization, I had a couple of offers. And at that time, one of the main deciding thing for me was that I want to join an organization where I can relate to the culture. And when I came, firstly, I was so impressed by the interview process itself at Amazon. The kind of questions people asked, it really got me thinking. And the interview process itself was such a great learning experience that I
Yeah,
thought that even at interview, if you learn, imagine when you join, how much would you learn? And then I started seeing that when I was asking the people, the panelists, you always get to ask questions to the panelists. So when I was asking question as to why you staying at Amazon, one of the most most given answer was that you can take risk, you can innovate, you can really speak your mind out, do different things, and sky's the limit. And I felt that really resonated with my DNA. I really
yeah,
wanted to be at a place where I could really, take risk, innovate, learn, and get the independence to do like really creative things. And I felt really, really nice that I got this opportunity, and it was a very easy decision that I felt that I have to join Amazon, and there was no looking
great.
back.
Yeah, like how you recall your interview. Even I remember like 6 years ago, more than 6 years ago, when I interviewed at Amazon. And apart from all the enriching experiences, the best part for me was that I was given a meeting room of my own, and the interviewers were coming and interviewing me, and then the next interviewer was coming. So I was like, oh man, this is the first time it has happened in my life where, the interview is made so comfortable, and they have a laptop and they own that space, and the interviewers are coming and going in. So that to me felt very empowering personally.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So coming back to our leadership principles, we have 14 of them, but which is your own personal favorite?
We've just added two more, so now we have
Yeah.
16.
Yes.
And it's very difficult for me to choose one. Like, I feel each of them bring in a perspective, and I feel that uh, the latest one, which is being erst best employer, is a good reminder of being employee centricity. And I really feel like we need to, uh, as HR people, we need to like double down on that. But if you ask me, I think customer obsession and working backwards from the customer needs has been something that really has helped me and guided me all throughout these years. And at Amazon, we have this concept that there is an empty chair in a
Yeah.
meeting, and every time that empty chair belongs to the customer. So you should always think about
Yes.
how are we working backwards from the customer need. And I think that one is a big anchor for me. Of course, think big, invent and simplify, deliver results are something that gives me the adrenaline rush. But I'm kind of divided among all because if you ask me, learning be
Exactly.
curious
Yeah.
is also something that I really relate to. But yes, that if you had if you have asked me as a order, then I think the one that I would focus right now most on being the erst best employer, and then followed by customer obsession.
Great. It was a trick question. It's hard to choose.
It is a trick question, absolutely.
Yeah, but thanks for sharing. And I think it also differs from, I mean, the preference for a leadership principle also differs on the different roles that we are doing, the career stage that we are at. Of course, customer obsession remains the guiding spirit for all of that together. But yeah, so moving on, let's pick up some of the questions that have come for you from social media, Deepti. And we have people from Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook asking you questions. So maybe we can take up a few of them.
Absolutely.
Okay, great. So Namita Arora from Instagram, she wants to know how long should a candidate wait for the feedback after the interview? And if the candidate does not hear back from the interviewers, then what can be done?
Sure. Thank you so much for that question. Our target is to ensure that candidates get feedback within 2 working days after we have had a phone screen, and 5 working days after the completion of all rounds, like all on-site rounds. Today, about 80% of the candidates get feedback within the timelines, and we get back to at least 98% of the candidates. However, team is working hard to make sure that that 80% becomes 90%, and we should be able to give feedback to all people who have interviewed with us within the first 2 days of phone screen and within 5 days of on-site. We are still at 80 right now.
Got it. Got it. And maybe as a follow-up, the candidates can also check with the recruiter after a week or so, possibly,
Yeah, they can
the
do that.
status.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. So next question is from Instagram again. What does Amazon look for in a candidate? On what basis are resumes shortlisted?
So, firstly, uh, Amazon really wants people who culturally are fitting Amazon ethos, join us, because, skill sets are something that can be trained or
Correct.
learned. But if a person is not culturally aligned, it gets very difficult for the person to feel comfortable in the organization, and also for that organization to have that person in working here. So that's the basic that we certainly look at, that the person should be culturally aligned to Amazon. But beyond that, I think what recruiters do is they have something called as must have and good to have competencies that they look basis the
Okay.
job description that is there. And then, when we do the phone screen, during that time, we try to understand, or, sometimes we do phone screen, sometimes it is online assessment, where we try, where the recruitment team tries to understand the basic competencies are met or not. And depending upon then that, if the person is found to be culturally aligned and having those basic skills, they are called for an on-site interview. And then there is panel of interviewers who, look at whether they're aligned as per the leadership principle, as per the other competencies that we have, and then we go ahead and make an hire call.
Got it. Thanks for answering that, Deepti. Next question is from Nishant Sahel on Twitter. He's asking how to apply for operation job in your organization at Varanasi.
It's not just operation job. Any job you want to apply, you just have to go to www.amazons.jobs, and you can just go and look for the jobs that you want in different locations. All those 8,000 jobs are listed there, and you can choose and apply online.
Okay, great. I hope that answers your question, Nishant. www.amazon.jobs. So that's the website you need to go and apply for any job. Moving on, Devika Prashant on Instagram wants to know how to roll over from non-tech to tech jobs internally.
Yeah, so great question. In fact, we had some of our employees who had joined us as associates who were from the computer science background, but actually joined us in non-tech roles. And we felt that we had a lot of those people who were aspiring to move from the non-tech job families into tech job families. So we actually launched an internal program called Atlas, where we have some of these people do self-study, because we have the AWS platform also, people leverage that. And then we have these classroom trainings followed by project work that they do, and then they transition into the tech roles. We've had some very good success rate internally, and a lot of people internally apply to these tech roles. And I think because of the success that we are seeing, we wanting to double down on this and give an opportunity internally for our employees who are interested to move from non-tech roles to tech roles.
Great. Yeah. The next question is from Shwetansh. They want to know, what is the biggest failure in your career and how did you overcome it?
But there's so many. I think
I want to know too.
if I start talking about failures, I would say I can go on and on. And you know, I think at Amazon we really celebrate failures. So I think the person who has failed more, it just shows that you've taken more risk. So I think we really enjoy, taking big risk and failing. And I still remember, couple of big ones was that we were launching this thing. There's the recognition portal that we'd launched internally. We had made that recognition portal, and we said any peer can recognize anyone else, and we wanted to do it internally. And we said every time the person is recognizing another one, what happens is that their manager should know that the recognition is there. So there were some employees who felt really good about recognizing Jeff Bezos. So they started writing. It was his night time, and they started writing to Jeff Bezos. And every time the mail would go to Jeff Bezos, where an employee was recognizing, a set of leaders would also get CC'd automatically. It was a bug in the system. So like in 2-3 hours, one of those started saying, I want to tell Jeff what a great company this is. I really love working here. And then there were many. So within 2 hours, we had to actually pull the service down and debug the whole thing. And while, I should celebrate that we launched this accolades thing, but, it was a big disaster. But, the fun part was my leaders in Seattle at that time, they said, any which ways, it was a great learning experience. And look, Jeff already knows that we've launched this, so we don't need a separate time with him to let him know that we've launched it. So, there are many. If I can just go on and on, it is endless. And no one really pointed out a finger and told me that, you did this mistake or that mistake or something like this. Sometimes what we do is when we make mistakes, we feel that we need to get into the root of the mistake. We ask people to write COE, which is correction of errors. And we feel that's very important, because what is important is to understand what is the root cause of that mistake, so that the mistake doesn't happen again. You must have heard about the and-on cord that we have, where people can pull the and-on cord so that that mistake doesn't happen again and again. And similarly, I think during my career at Amazon, I think I must be one of those people who must have failed the maximum number of time, and that's what makes me what I am today.
We have this internal saying, right? Fail fast.
Fail fast, right? Absolutely.
Yeah. So, picking up some more questions. So Soumya Ambashta wants to know, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, since you've already achieved so much?
I don't think so. I've achieved so much. I think I have to learn a lot. At Amazon, I believe that learning never stops. And I believe that we not only learn from our managers or our stakeholders, we also learn from our peers, our team members. I feel that I've just got started with my learning, and there is a lot more learning to be done. And I think in 5 years, I feel that there'll be so many newer things that would have happened at Amazon. In fact, we pride ourselves to say HR is the most, it's an organization where we make experiments, and we are able to, look at it like a product company. So I feel that I would want to be one of those organizations where we make a lot of innovation on behalf of employees and make their life easy and simple. That's where I see myself 5 years from now, and make it
Great.
like as we say, our 15th leadership principle, where we should be one of the best employers. I really want Amazon to be at the top.
Great, great. And I'm sure we are getting there. And yeah, thank you. So, Deepti, we are getting a lot of questions around work opportunities for students or freshers.
Yeah, so we have a very good program run by our student program team, where they go to universities both for tech hiring as well as for non-tech hiring. And we go to different universities across India. And what we did was that while we were doing this, we also wanted to give an opportunity to some of the women who would like to, apply across the institutes and not be restricted just because we're not going to their institute. So we launched something called as Amazon Wow. And under Amazon Wow program, people from across tech universities, women can apply, go through the online test, and then if they're found suitable, then we go help them to get mentored and trained, and then eventually give them jobs, eventually give them internship. And if they're doing well in internship, they can, get converted to full-time employees. Similarly, we also go to a lot of colleges for non-tech hiring, and we hire a lot of people as associates in our different businesses. And I think that's a great pool for us, because we've seen that a lot of people want to work as well as, study just after, graduation or post graduation and so on and so forth. And that's been a great hiring um, outlet for us. So we both concentrate on tech and non-tech hiring. And of course, we also go to premier MBA across
Yeah,
India, and we've been hiring from, all the premium MBA institutes. And we have a flagship program. So you can also be a fresher and come through that, and be an experienced person and also come through that.
got it. So I think since we are running short of time, we'll just take maybe last two questions. So let's take this one from Shelja on Instagram. She wants to know, what tips would you give potential candidates who are aspiring to join Amazon?
I think the first tip that I would like to give you is that be yourself. Amazon does not believe that you need to prepare yourself. What Amazon believes is that you should be able to identify with the culture that we have and be able to, just speak your mind out during the interview. What we are
Yeah,
looking for are people who are builders, innovators, who, are ready to take risk, ready to, try out new things, can speak their mind out, are customer obsessed, and leadership principle play a very important role for us. So I would certainly say that you should go through the leadership principle to know whether you identify yourself with those or not. Secondly, I think it's important for you to understand the role that you are getting into. So whenever a recruiter or anyone is approaching you, or you're going ahead and applying, it is important for you to understand whether you identify yourself with that role. Sometimes,
yeah,
we just go with the designation. In Amazon, we don't believe in fancy designation. Our designations may not do justice with the kind of work that we all do. So go with the kind of work that is required to be done. And last but not the least is talk to an Amazonian, ask them
yeah.
about their experience. You will realize that there is plethora of opportunities. There is plethora of, you can really learn a lot, and you will be able to learn a lot from an Amazonian who's been here for some time. So I would encourage you to do that.
Yeah, I hope that answers your question, Shelja. So yeah, so maybe as last question, we can take one on career day. So what can we look forward to on career day, Deepti?
I think you had summed it up very well, but we have a main stage event on 16th, where
Correct.
we are having a fireside chat with our CEO, Andy Jesse, who will share his own career experiences and, openly talk about how he has grown in his career. We also have Amit Agarwal, the Global Vice President and Country Head of Amazon, who will be sharing his journey, how, he started the tech center way back in 2003, 2004, and how he's grown to be an SVP. Then we have some of the employees who will share their own view about life at Amazon, because we felt that it will be important for you to hear from the employees as to what is a typical day at Amazon. We also have one-on-one career coaching sessions. So we are offering around 2,000 one-on-one career coaching sessions for interested candidates. So if you are interested, go and register. The link would be there. So you can just register at amazoncareerday.com. And we will have around 140 Amazon recruiters who will conduct these sessions. And it is, of course, on first come first basis, who can give you some insights about what the role is and how do you go about searching the right job and so on and so forth. So it's a day full of excitement, but before the day, you can certainly have this virtual event, which is in which you can consult the recruiters who can answer any question. But of course, I'm really excited to sit and watch Andy Jesse,
Yeah.
Amit Agarwal, and others talk. So I'm really excited about it.
Same here, Deepti. So thank you so much for giving us that update on Career Day. We are all looking forward to watch that live. And folks, if you have not registered for Career Day yet, do so by visiting our website that Deepti just mentioned, www.amazoncareerday.com. It's a free event and will take place on 16th of September in India. So yeah, thank you, Deepti, for your time. It was lovely to talk to you and see you around.
Thank you so much to all the participants who've joined us today from various places. I know it's middle of the week, so you all would be busy, but it is really nice to have so many questions, and I look forward to having many of you, join us during the Career Day event. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining. Bye bye.